Hey folks, welcome back to the Jake Ellenbogen live show. I would have loved to be doing this from the office, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm not feeling all that great. Kind of just hit me really quickly, honestly. I was so excited to do this, and I all of a sudden started coming down with something or just feeling off. So I'm here though. You won't get me on camera, unfortunately, because I don't have my camera at home. But we're going to be doing this the old slideshow way. Um, we're going to be doing a mock off season. Originally, it started off. We were going to do a mock draft, but I thought you guys deserved way better than that. So we're going to do a mock draft, and we're going to mock this whole off season. Now, disclaimer, this may be realistic, this may not be realistic. I feel like it's somewhat realistic, and I also think you have to take everything with a grain of salt anytime you're talking about anything mock. But I'm going to do my best to give you guys the best video I can, best presentation I can. Man, I really do wish I had camera though. So I don't, unfortunately. Kind of takes that out of that. But as always, I am, in full support of Manscaped. They support the channel. They support Downtown Rams. And, as always, this is brought to you by Manscaped, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered technology for your family jewels. They obsess over their technology developments to provide you the best tools for your grooming experience. Manscaped is trusted by over 2 million men worldwide. And, of course, for my listeners / viewers, although you're more listeners today, apologize for that. You can get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com by using promo code JKB or DTR. You can also see it as this show goes on. You'll see it on the bottom ticker as well as other news. Thank you guys so much for spending your Monday night with virtual me, I guess. I'm not there to actually say hi to you. I don't like this. I won't do this again, but but thank you guys. Really do appreciate it. And we'll get started. So we're doing a LA Rams 2021 mock offseason. I teased this at one point or another. And I do remember a lot of people were like, ooh, that sounds interesting. A mock offseason, huh? All right. Well, I'm game. So here we are. Mock offseason. You're looking at the LA Rams offseason preview. Just to, recap here. The Rams cap space is negative $38 million right now. I'm going to show you how they can fix that in just a sec. But before we get into that, key free agents here. Free safety John Johnson. We have outside linebacker Leonard Floyd and center Austin Blythe. All three could be back. All three could not be back. Who knows? It really depends on how they look at everything and how they evaluate. But at the end of the day, you will notice that I don't have all three of them coming back, despite what some people might want. So we're going to get into that. And I did want to give a shout out because I saw someone donated earlier, and Robert Jacobson, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. I saw it earlier, but I wasn't online, so I wasn't able to actually say it. But thank you. And as we move on here, we're going to move on, and we're going to go right into how we can cut this salary cap down, okay? And, this is building blocks here. These are building blocks. So we're going to go right into it. And we move over here to... oh, that's on my phone. Yeah. So we move on over to the LA Rams restructures here. And with the restructures, I want to show you the cap space that can be saved. About $45 million in cap space. This is just restructure with Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, and Andrew Whitworth. Now, they don't have to restructure Andrew Whitworth. That is not the end-all, be-all, luckily. Okay? And I wouldn't say it's that far-fetched if they do or if they don't. First off, let's look at Aaron Donald. You're going to kick the can down the road, for lack of a better term. When you restructure, you're basically guaranteeing the money more upfront, and now in the back end, you can't cut them and save all that money. So, with that said, we are looking at Aaron Donald, who's going to be a no-brainer to restructure. We are looking at Jalen Ramsey, who's going to be a no-brainer to restructure. And let's see. All right, looks like I lost connection to YouTube. It says I'm live though, so if you guys could comment below, if you hear me, let me know. I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. All right, cool. So yeah, I got kind of funked out by YouTube there. So on we go. All right, I lost you. I'm back. You all can hear me. I can see that. So here's how it's gonna go. So Aaron Donald is going to be very, very simple to move forward restructuring. I mean, you're not going to potentially cut him down the line, okay? He is guaranteed to remain a Ram throughout his career, at least his contract. We'll see his career. But Jalen Ramsey, same thing, okay? You don't restructure guys in which maybe down the future you think that you could cut, because it's going to be more of a chunk of change when you go to cut them. You're going to eat more dead money. And, things are always formulated in a way for the Rams by Tony Pastors and company. Things are always formulated in a way that makes sense for the Rams long term. So, because of that, you have to keep that in mind. You can't restructure everyone. For instance, if you had a 33-year-old, say situational pass rusher who, when he came to the team, he was the starter, got older, and then fell off and wasn't as productive, that guy would all of a sudden not likely be, a franchise piece. He would likely not be the best candidate to restructure because you wouldn't want to be held to his standards long term. So, with that said, we move on here. I think $45 million that can be saved. Let's be realistic. We haven't seen this done before. The Rams don't restructure guys this often. But what I will say is this. It is an unprecedented offseason, and I wouldn't rule out a restructure by any measure. Now, moving on, we're going to look over here, and we're going to go to the interesting part of this, and this is the Matthew Stafford rework. So we saw with Ben Roethlisberger, we saw him basically rework his deal with the Steelers. It involved dummy years, very similar. The best way to reference it, if you remember Leonard Floyd, his contract referenced dummy years as well, years that voided out to make everything work better. And so essentially that is what would be happening with Matthew Stafford's contract in reworking this. And I don't know exactly how to word a contract because I don't write them, but I can tell you that the Rams could do something like this, sign Stafford to a long-term deal in which those years void out, and thus create extra cap space by using those voided out deals and spreading it out over time, just like the Steelers did with Ben Roethlisberger. So the point is, when you're in an unprecedented offseason where there's not a ton to work with cap-wise, this is the way to go. Because when you go this way, you know you're going to have to be creative. This would free up about $15 million in cap. And so with that being said, if you're able to free up $15 million in cap or around that, like Ben Roethlisberger did with the Steelers, think about how much that helps a team that now has to go and orchestrate themselves through pretty much everything. Because you're going to have to find ways to add depth when you trade away first-round picks. You're going to have to find ways to replace players when you lose said players because you can't afford to pay those players. So this is a way to do it. Now, it's not a perfect plan, and it may not happen. But in this mock offseason, I do have the Rams reworking Stafford's deal to free up about an estimated $15 million in cap space. So far, if you're with me, that's $60 million in cap space that we just freed up and started out at negative $38 million. So now we move on to everyone's favorite part, and that is the trades. So the trades here, essentially, we have John Johnson being tagged in this scenario. And when he's tagged, we have the Rams flopping him, like I've been telling you guys, flip-flopping him for a second-round pick. That's kind of where I'm leaning. I look at the Ravens as a good destination for him. First off, you're not screwing him over. You're sending him to a good team, and you're sending him away from your conference. So, I mean, you might have to play him, of course, but you're sending him over to the Ravens. The Ravens need a safety. Chuck Clark is good as he can be. He's not all that. And they have a sixth-rounder in Deshaun Elliott, who, I mean, let's be real here. John Johnson instantly becomes the best safety in that group. And when you look at the defense and what they're building, getting guys like Malik Harrison and Patrick Queen last year, you have to imagine they're going to want to round that up. And so I think the one thing they're missing is legit, do-it-all safety, and that's John Johnson. So the Rams, they get a second-round pick from the Ravens. That pick is going to be number 58, which would be next to their 57th overall pick for John Johnson. Now, the next trade is Rob Havenstein. Rob Havenstein to the Bengals for a fifth-rounder. I know what you're thinking. Couldn't you have gotten more for Rob Havenstein? Maybe. And why the Bengals? Well, I'm glad you asked. When you look at Joe Burrow last year, they couldn't protect him. Now, luckily, the Rams happen to have something, some connection there with Cincinnati. And that connection falls on Zach Taylor, the head coach of Cincinnati. And Zach Taylor knows they're going to have to protect Joe Burrow. When it's all said and done, they'll have to protect Joe Burrow. So now, here's how this works. So the Rams send Rob Havenstein over, and they're going to acquire the 150th overall pick in the draft. Cincinnati is going to get a proven right tackle, and they can either draft Rashawn Slater, or they could draft Penei Sewell, or they can draft Christian Darrisaw in the draft. But they take care of that right tackle position, and they feel better moving forward with Joe Burrow. And they've made that their mission, or at least they're saying they're making it their mission, to put everything that they have to protect Joe Burrow. So, moving on with that, we have Michael Brockers. Now, Michael Brockers, I told you, I think he'll get traded. I don't want to trade Michael Brockers, but I feel like it's such an obvious thing. And then today it comes out that the Rams are actually, they've made him available. Now, Brockers could be a huge, huge addition to the Dallas Cowboys front. They're needing that juice in the middle, and honestly, I think they need a leader, and Brockers would be perfect for them. It would obviously hurt to send him over to the Cowboys, but I will say this. I think, the Cowboys, giving up a fourth-round pick, the Rams can use that fourth-round pick and, help build out their roster while also freeing up money. And at the end of the day, when you make these trades, and I'm not saying it's the most realistic thing, but I wouldn't put it past Snead. You make these trades and now you've saved $12 million. So altogether, so far, we've reworked Stafford's deal. That was $15 million. We've restructured Donald, Ramsey, Woods, Kupp, and Whitworth, which is $45 million. So that's around $60 million. And then you free up 12 more million. So that's $72 million in cap space that you just freed up by doing all of that. So it's a lot, I understand, but stick with me here. Now we move on to free agency, and who are we going to sign here? Well, I can tell you right now, someone is not going to be too happy with my signing, and that is my guy Renee House in the comments section. But here we go. So here are the signings here. I have the Rams signing Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year, $8 million deal. I think, that's pretty much his market value right now, coming off a season in which, he had issues with injuries. He's been somewhat of a disappointment, but, the talent is obviously there. And to be honest with you, you put him, with Aaron Donald, and I really think this is somebody that could have a monster season. And Jadeveon Clowney's trying to save face right now. He's in jeopardy. If he has another down year or he gets hurt, he's going to be stuck without a contract. So I'll say this. I will say this right now. Jadeveon Clowney is going to want to go somewhere where he can start, but he can also build up his stock. Right now, his stock is down. He needs to build that up. So, essentially, the Rams get Jadeveon Clowney on a 1-year deal. You'll notice all of these are 1-year deals. This is what happens when you have an offseason like the one we're about to see. So, Jadeveon Clowney, 1 year, $8 million. He plays well, and then he cashes out next year, just like Floyd and just like Fowler. And that's honestly the great thing about having Aaron Donald. AJ Bouye, $6 million 1 year. So the Rams are going to bring back Darius Williams. I'm almost positive. So Darius Williams would be, at least if I was doing it, I would tender him at a first-round tender for a restricted free agent. If they don't do that, I don't really know what to say, because I think that a team would give up a second-rounder to take Darius Williams. But first 1 year, $4.7 million for just a first-round tender is doable. And I think Darius Williams and the Rams will look at, a long-term deal down the road. But for right now, you go out and you spend a little bit over $10 million and you get AJ Bouye and Darius Williams to go with Jalen Ramsey. So you reunite Ramsey and Bouye, and then you bring back Darius Williams. That's a pretty good-looking corner group. For those of you who don't know, AJ Bouye was cut by the Denver Broncos. So if a move was done, I'd prefer it was done before free agency. That way, it doesn't have any effect on the comp formula. That would be a great thing. Another thing, Morgan Fox. Don't discount Morgan Fox. He's not just a guy. The Rams really like him. Everything I've been told is that they might bring him back. UDFAs with the Rams, I know they come and they go, but this guy made a name for himself last year, and that defensive line room loves him. So I have him coming back on a $3 million 1-year deal. I think that's fair. I think that, is around his level. He could probably get a little bit more elsewhere in another season, but this is a different year. I don't think Morgan Fox is going to be atop of the food chain, so to speak, but we'll see. And then Austin Blythe, 1 year, $4 million. You bring back Blythe. I think, to me, I was thinking about it, and, with Stafford, going back at my first mock draft, I said, Josh Myers, this is a no-brainer, but here's the problem. You have Stafford, so essentially you're focusing on the fact that, you want to win now. Well, if you want to win now, then you're going to want to keep things together for the most part. I think they're going to get rid of Havenstein personally, so that's why I made that trade. Okay. And honestly, I wouldn't hate if they got rid of Havenstein, because hear me out when I say this. Havenstein is solid, but Havenstein struggles against the true speed rushers in this league. And I hate to break it to you, but there's going to be a lot more coming in, and the league is getting very athletic, where you have pass rushers that are running in the 4.3s. Jason Away, who just did that. Anyway, moving on. So Austin Blythe, 1-year deal, $4 million. Morgan Fox, 1-year deal, $3 million. Darius Williams, 1-year deal, $4.7 million. Boye, 1 year, $6 million. And Jadeveon Clowney, 1 year, $8 million. I know you guys are probably wondering, what about the deep threat, all of that? We'll get to that. If you're doing the math, the Rams, so the Rams would have 6.2 remaining cap space, which is enough to have a draft. They could do other things. They could rework other things, what have you. But you want to have that cap so you can actually draft players and sign them. So they have that cap space now. Moving on, we are going to show you the draft trades, remind you of, where we're at right now. So the way the draft works here, because we've already made these trades, and now the trade from the John Johnson one, that's the number 58. The number 39 comes over with Brockers, and the number 50 comes in return for Rob Havenstein. But I also traded with Tampa Bay in this scenario here, and it was during the draft, but I wanted to show it to you now. Now, I realize the graphic is actually wrong now that I'm seeing it. It's for the Rams, the LAR for number 57 and number 41, not 64 and 64. So just clearing that up right now. So the Rams are trading the first pick in the draft that they have in the second round, 57th overall. They're not going to pick there. Tampa wants to go up and get a guy. So I made that trade. And then basically after that, I picked at 64, and you'll see what's going on because we're moving on to the mock draft. And in the mock draft, we're going to start off and we're going to go get that deep threat here in Dwayne Eskridge, the Western Michigan wide receiver, 5'9", 189, redshirt senior. Look, this guy's very explosive. He's somebody that, it's just basically he takes off like a rocket. He's expected to run a 4.2 at his pro day. At least he's saying that. This is the next level of receiver when you look at somebody like Tyreek Hill in the league. This is kind of where we are, and Dwayne Eskridge kind of resembles that. Now, would I 100% make this move every time? No, but I have a striking feeling that the Rams are going in this direction. I have a feeling that they're about to fall in love with this guy if they haven't already, and I can already see them surprising everyone, except for me, of course, when they pick another receiver and they pick a 5'9" receiver in Dwayne Eskridge. His speed is something that they do not have on the roster, and I absolutely love Van Jefferson's speed. I think he's underrated, but to be honest with you, watching Dwayne Eskridge, it's really not hard to see why that they would like somebody like this. You see on the film, bubble screens, I'd show them to you, but I'd rather not get demonetized again by Exos. I just have to throw that out there. That's why I'm not showing you his highlight film. I had 2 and 3 hour live streams get demonetized for a 10-second clip. Anyway, so Dwayne Eskridge has done just such a great job in college. He's shown you his ability. One, when people have, the flashbacks to Tavon Austin, that's not him. Okay, he is not Tavon Austin. He's very fast, okay? Very fast, just like Tavon Austin. But one thing I really like about Eskridge, he will actually go up, be violent, and pluck the ball out of the air. It's very impressive. It can be in single coverage, double coverage. He is feisty. He's going to attack the ball, which I absolutely love. Eskridge also offers a severe threat in the kick and punt return game. So now you get a returner, you get your receiver, and Dwayne, he doesn't have to be the go-to guy because you have Kupp, you have Woods, and now you have Van. Dwayne Eskridge can just be that guy that, takes the top off the defense, and he's going to be a pain when he's in. I mean, they can use him in the backfield. You watch the film when he gets those bubble screens, the notorious Sean McVay bubble screens. Well, he just takes off like a cannon. There's no hesitation. He reads so quickly. It's just second nature to him. So that's why Dwayne Eskridge is going to go in the second round, and that is why I think the Rams are going to take him. I think it makes a lot of sense if they were serious about the deep threat. Look, I believe, like Renee is saying, too little, Rams like bigger receivers. I actually disagree. I think the Rams don't like big receivers. I feel like the Rams haven't given the bigger receivers an opportunity. They like the 6 foot. Sure, they drafted Cooper Kupp who's 6'2", 6'1", yada, yada, but they have not gone after the DK Metcalfs, the Denzel Mims. So that's why I kind of feel like this is their next move. They're going to go out with a guy that kind of reminds them a little bit of Brandon Cooks. Why do I say that? Well, the Rams traded Brandon Cooks for more than one reason. I know a lot of people seem to believe that Brandon Cooks was traded because of his concussions, but I can tell you from what I've been told, that is not the case. They traded him because Jared Goff could no longer hit the deep ball. Whether it was a confidence issue or just the fact he just lost it, he could not hit the deep ball. And so therefore, they felt like Brandon Cooks had no more value in that offense since all he was doing was just doing what any other receiver could do. So now we have Dwayne Eskridge with Matthew Stafford. That could be quite the tandem. Moving on, we have the 64th overall pick from the Ravens trade. And that is going to be Jordan Smith. Okay. And I'm sorry. Dwayne Eskridge was the 58th. Jordan Smith is the 64th. My apologies. Jordan Smith is 64th overall. Now, this is with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers trade, and the prior one, Dwayne Eskridge, was with Baltimore. That was for John Johnson. Sorry to confuse you. A lot of graphic making. Screwed up, but I noticed it on the spot, so I'm telling you now. Jordan Smith, and he's also not a wide receiver. Wow, I was really out of it today. So Jordan Smith is maybe my favorite pass rusher, maybe one of my favorite defensive players in the entire draft. He's exactly what you want today. 6'6", 255 pound, outside linebacker that has incredible bend. Normally, when you have the size, it's all prototypical, but you have the size and it's like, normally the guy can't bend. He does such a great job of doing that. He's got an unbelievable, I think anyway, an unbelievable ceiling. I think he is going to be potentially a star in this league, and I think he's everything that you want Terrell Lewis to be and more. He doesn't have the injury issues. Jordan Smith is the real deal. And so I'm looking Jordan Smith starting across from Jadeveon Clowney on a defensive front with Aaron Donald and Sebastian Joseph-Day and A'Shawn Robinson. I'm feeling pretty good moving forward if I'm the Rams. So we move on here, and we're going to go out, and we're going to go and grab a linebacker, and one that I really like in this draft that I don't think enough people are talking about, Cam McGrone out of Michigan. Look, this guy takes phenomenal angles to the football. He's great down at the goal line, stout. He's a great tackler, but he's also very good in coverage. And I think Cam McGrone has some serious potential to end up being one of the best linebackers in all of football. I really like him. He may not get to this point. I've seen him mocked all over the place, but in my mock, he did fall to this spot at 95 overall, which we have because of the Tampa Bay trade. He's a starting linebacker, 3-down linebacker. And he is going to be somebody that can, really penetrate, gaps. He's somebody who's athletic. He's explosive. And I just like his long-term, his upside. I think when you look at McGrone, the thing that might throw people off is the injury. But I'm not worried about the injury history at all. He doesn't have a long injury history. And I think he's somebody that is going to come in and, he's going to start right away. I think he instantly becomes the best linebacker on that group and would start, next to Troy Reeder. So moving on, we have a safety here. And I didn't want to go safety, but I just can't help but pass up on this guy. I love this guy. James Wiggins. If you guys remember, I actually posted on Twitter. Um, it was my way too early Rams mock draft for the 2021 season. I posted in 2020, right after the draft, and I had the Rams selecting James Wiggins then. That didn't change after he blew up again this season. He is a do-it-all safety. He's an absolute ball hawk. He's a threat. He's going to put the nail in the coffin. He's going to be a closer. When you need an interception, he'll get it for you. Great in coverage, can hit hard. This is somebody that, I don't know what his role would truly be, but I think he's good enough to start next to Jordan Fuller. And then likely the Rams could, rotate in and out Terrell Burgess and Taylor Rapp. And I mean, they have a myriad of safeties, but they go out and they replace John Johnson with a guy like James Wiggins. I think you're getting a stud in James Wiggins at safety, 6 feet, 205 pounds. He's got good size, good speed. Very nice blend of athleticism that you're getting at 101 in the third round. So moving on, we have the big lumbering guy that someone already mentioned in Walker. Oh, I'm sorry. We skipped the pick. So moving on, we have round 3, 103 overall, Kendrick Green out of Illinois. I see him as a long-term, center option. I wanted the Rams to draft a center in this draft, but I felt like early on in this process, I was going heavy on early center. But what I was thinking now, like recently, is that the Rams really, if they get Blythe back, which is what we have, they don't need to go out and get a center early on. They can go out and get a better version of a Brian Allen, a guy that's developmental but actually has room to develop in Kendrick Green, a redshirt junior that's coming out a little bit early. Maybe should have stayed in school, but look, I think he's got the upside there as a center, solid size. He's athletic. I like him. So I decided to make that pick for Kendrick Green. Missed out on some of the other guys that I was eyeing, but Kendrick Green, I think, is a good pick there. And then I already spoiled it, but multiple people were talking about it. It's pretty obvious, right? This is the direction a lot of people think we're going to go here with Walker Little. Walker Little towers over people at 6'7". Now, Walker Little, he's not little. We can just say that right now, on like his name. But the thing with him, and I mean, this is why he's going to get connected so much with the Rams, is that Carberry, the new offensive line coach from Stanford, he's coming over to the Rams, and he coached Walker Little. He was a former 5-star recruit in his own right. Clearly going to be a left tackle starting at the next level. If he ever gets that opportunity, that's what he projects. I think he makes a lot of sense. You get him in the 4th round here because, I mean, this tackle class is good. This offensive line class all around the horn is pretty good. So this is a quote-unquote steal for the Rams here. You get comfortable for your offensive line coach. He goes out, he gets his guy, Walker Little. And honestly, he can go right in and potentially start in place of Rob Havenstein. If not, it's Noteboom or Bobby Evans or Tremaine Ankrum. I think that right tackle position all of a sudden gets a lot of competition and could be a fun watch down the road. So, in this pick, for round 4, 139th overall with the Michael Brocker selection, we go with Walker Little here. And then, of course, there's some consistency, as you noticed in my 2.0 mock versus my 1.0. We already saw Jordan Smith, so we're going to bring out another guy. And this guy I've talked about many times, Charles Snowden, linebacker / edge defender, 6'6", 232. This guy is like an alien. He's got such great range in a sense where his arm span is so wide. If he gets his hands on you, you're done. He's a really good tackler. Normally, you'd think a guy that looks all gangly like that would have a hard time tackling, but he's actually a very sound tackler, moves very well. And he can kind of do a little bit of everything. So why did I go this route? I wanted to give the defensive coordinator, the brand new defense coordinator, Raheem Morris, a chess piece. And I feel like this is the best option here. You look at Charles Snowden, what he can do, moving him around. I think he'd be, a serious threat for teams. Hard to game plan against a defense that has guys like Charles Snowden that are monster, just athletes. And then you have Jordan Smith, and then, say Terrell Lewis ever amounts to anything. The Rams are going to have some freaky athletes, and I'm all for it. That's why I really like this pick. And then moving on, talk about another freaky athlete here. That was with the Rob Havenstein pick. The Rams get Charles Snowden. And the next pick in the fifth round, this is with the Tampa Bay trade that I did earlier. The Rams get another freakish athlete in Joshua Kane-Doe, edge defender from Florida State, 6'7", 247. This is definitely a high upside guy. You're basically drafting and stashing the edge defender here. I'm not going to say that he can come in immediately, be a contributor this year, but this is somebody you grab, and with all of the depth you have, then you just kind of keep him behind. You develop him, and then maybe someday he turns into a starter. He's got all the physical traits. Obviously tremendous frame. I think he does a nice job. Obviously converting speed to power. I think he uses that well. His hands are heavy. He's got long arms, and I think when you look at him, he can develop into something down the road. I'm not saying that he's going to even play this year, but I'm saying if the Rams were to draft him, they could stash him, develop him, and I think that'd be an interesting look, because you don't see many 6'7", 247 guys that carry the weight the way he does, his body the way he does, and move as well as he does, because I'm really impressed overall with his movement skills at that size. So moving on, we have this guy, and this is one of my favorite stories of the draft in Tay Gowan. This is a Rams original pick at round 6, 210. And the Rams are going to go and get Tay Gowan here, 6'2", 185 out of UCF. For those of you that don't know, Tay Gowan is he's a great dude. But he's actually been criticized for taking off this season. He sat out this season, and then he came out and explained exactly what happened. He had a premature daughter that was born, and he's had to take care of her. So because of that, he hasn't been able to obviously play, but the film speaks for itself. I think he's going to end up in my top 10 cornerbacks in this draft, and I only have him here because this is around when people are talking about picking him, and he might even go undrafted. But I'm a big fan of Tay Gowan. I like his physicality. I like his speed. He does a nice job of mirroring receivers. And I think coming from UCF, we've already seen UCF, can definitely generate talent, can develop talent. I like his fit with the Rams. On a team now, you have, we just added A.J. Boye and Darius Williams to the mix. You have Jalen Ramsey. You have, his name just totally escaped me. But, David Long. There we go. You have David Long. And then you have the other one that I'm thinking of, Dante Dion. So Tay Gowan would probably fight Dante Dion and even, David Long to make the roster, but I think he could. And he's a guy to keep in mind. Just keep watching out for him moving forward. Moving on, we have the last pick in this mock draft. We're not done. I'll show you the depth chart afterwards. But the last pick in this draft, we're going to go here with a wide receiver in Colorado State monster Warren Jackson. Now, I am in no way saying this guy will end up being a superstar or anything like that. But at this point, 7th round, I've always said it. The Rams never do it, but I've always said go out and get a project receiver. Go out and just 7th round, go out and get that 6'6" guy and just see what you can do with him. And Warren Jackson, knows how to use his size. He just doesn't create separation. So when I look at this guy, I don't look at him as an all-purpose type of receiver. I don't know if he can be a starter, but I will say this. If you guys have heard me before, I say what is so important about, the NFL? It's scoring touchdowns. If it's so important, then why don't we have a designated red zone threat, a designated red zone target? Here's the thing. When you have a Warren Jackson at 6'6", 215 that knows how to use his frame, box out defenders like he's a power forward in the NBA trying to, get a rebound, then that's the type of guy you should be using in the red zone, in the goal at the goal line. Now, I'm not saying he'll be a star, but I like the idea of drafting a 6'6", 250-pound, wide receiver who has, a scheme fit in a vertical offense, which they'll be more vertical now with Stafford. I don't think he is going to be special. He doesn't have speed, and he's a 7th-round pick. But like I said, you get at the goal line, and you just throw him in to be that red zone guy. I like his ball skills. I think he can go up and pluck the ball out of the air. His problem is he can't be a yards after the guy. He can't run after the catch. He's not a great route runner. So this is somebody that you strictly want to go up and get that ball, the end zone fade, and that's what you'll do. And then maybe he'll develop into something more. But at the end of the draft, that's the type of guy I'm taking. And so I decided to go with Warren Jackson there. Now, that's the end of the mock draft. I hope you guys enjoyed that, but we're not done here. We're going to talk a little bit about, go over the mock offseason, how we came out to be. If, after the draft, you're looking at about $2 million remaining for the Rams in cap space, if even, but that's not really a huge deal. We're going to look at the depth chart here. Offensively, Matthew Stafford, John Wolford, Devlin Hodges, and Bryce Perkins are in your quarterback room. That's one of the best quarterback rooms in the NFL. I've gone on record. People disagree with me, but I've gone on record saying John Wolford is a top 32 quarterback in this league. And so the Rams essentially have 2 starters, in my opinion, in that room. Devlin Hodges, who started, half a season in Pittsburgh, meaningful games. And then Bryce Perkins, who offers that, that run ability that they just don't have. I mean, Wolford can run. Perkins has elite level speed. That'll be interesting to see, if they want to continue developing him or go with Devlin. Either way, that's a really good quarterback room. Then you look at the running backs, Cam Akers, Darrell Henderson, Xavier Jones, and Raymond Calais. I will say I was teased multiple times with guys like Puka Williams and guys like Chris Evans and guys like Khalil Herbert falling into the Rams' lap, in perfect opportunities. I decided not to pull the trigger on a running back. I know the Rams normally draft running backs, but I feel like they're done this year because I think Raymond Calais, getting him, that was a long-term stash. I don't think that they expected him to be available. Tampa ended up cutting him, so they did what they usually do and claimed him. And Xavier Jones, who should have gone the 5th round, he ends up going undrafted at SMU, has great balance, somebody that can, be effective in the run game, but also in the pass game. I think this is somebody that could develop into something moving forward as well. So you have to like the running back room there. The receivers, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Van Jefferson, Simba Webster, Tristan Jackson, Dwayne Eskridge, Warren Jackson, and J.J. Koski. I don't expect J.J. Koski to make the roster, nor Simba Webster at that point, but Dwayne Eskridge is your 4th receiver. Tristan Jackson and Warren Jackson battling for that 5th spot. I think they only keep 5 receivers on the team because Dwayne Eskridge would be your punt returner, your kick returner. He would be your do-it-all guy. Then you have Tyler Higbee, Bryson Hopkins, and Kendall Blanton. I decided not to go with another tight end because, to be honest with you, I am just ready to see Bryson Hopkins in action. I could have gone with a Mercedes Lewis. I could have gone with a Delaney Walker. I could have drafted a tight end, but I'm over it. Bryson Hopkins was my number 1 tight end last year in the draft, and it wasn't close. Love the guy. Cannot believe they got him in the 4th round. And it's almost as unbelievable as the fact they didn't even use him all year last year and wasted those reps on a guy they knew they weren't bringing back in Gerald Everett. So to me, I want to see Bryson Hopkins get more looks moving forward. I decided to avoid that. Kendall Blanton can be their third guy. Johnny Munt could come back as well, but I decided to keep him off this. I like him, but we'll see if they decide to bring him back. And then left tackle, Andrew Whitworth, Walker Little, and Tremaine Ankrum. So that's a really good left tackle depth there. You have David Edwards and Jamil Demby. Demby would probably miss the team, I would imagine. Austin Blythe, Kendrick Green, and Brian Allen. I would say probably cut Brian Allen. Austin Corbett, Coleman Shelton. They just signed Shelton. Joseph Noteboom and Bobby Evans. So that rounds that out. I do think Joseph Noteboom, Bobby Evans, Tremaine Ankrum, and Walker Little would all battle it out for the right tackle spot. Ultimately, though, I think when they look at, they go back and watch the film with Noteboom, his ability at the left tackle position will make them interested enough to try him at right tackle. He played well last year in relief for, Andrew Whitworth. He did go down a little bit at times, and he wasn't the best run blocker, but in pass pro, I thought he definitely improved. And so, I would say that. Now, moving on, the final one here, we have the defense. And this defense all of a sudden looks pretty damn loaded. First off, we start with the defensive line and Aaron Donald, Morgan Fox, Eric Banks. And keep in mind, Eric Banks is a guy they really like. He actually was coached by Eric Henderson, who is the defensive line's coach. So keep an eye out for him. He could explode on the scene. Sebastian Joseph Day, Greg Gaines, Marquise Copeland, Ashawn Robinson, Morgan Fox, Jonah Williams, and Michael Haucht. I would imagine that most of those guys make the roster. Donald, Joseph Day, Ashawn Robinson, Fox. I don't know why I listed him twice. Greg Gaines and Eric Banks. I would imagine Michael Haucht, Jonah Williams, and Marquise Copeland fight for a spot on the practice squad. We don't know if the practice squad will have 13 spots this year or whatever they had last year. It might go back down to 10. But as of right now, there's a chance that it could be extended. If that's the case, then that's the case. Outside linebacker, Jadeveon Clowney, Justin Hollins, Obadiah Okoronkwo, and Derek Moncrief. Would imagine Moncrief is a practice squad candidate. Inside linebacker, Troy Reeder, Micah Kaiser, Kenny Young. Then Cameron McGrone, I'd have starting. Trayvon Howard and Christian Roseboom. Pretty good linebacker group. And then the other outside linebacker position, you have Jordan Smith, Terrell Lewis, Justin Lawler, Charles Snowden, and Joshua Kane-Doe. Charles Snowden, he's a hybrid linebacker edge. So, just because it looks like they would be keeping a lot of outside linebackers and they look loaded, personally, I think Justin Lawler's gone. I would imagine Derek Moncrief is a practice squad guy. So it doesn't look, there's more guys than it truly is. It looks like more guys than there truly is. And then cornerback, you have Jalen Ramsey, Darius Williams, and AJ Boye. Then David Long, Tay Gowan, Dante Dion, not Deacon. Man, I can't spell. And then Tyreek McGee. And then we have safeties, Jordan Fuller, Terrell Burgess, Taylor Rapp, James Wiggins, J.R. Reed, Nick Scott, Jake Gervais, and Juju Hughes, which I would imagine Gervais and Hughes and J.R. Reed are all potential cut candidates. They'd probably look to keep Fuller, Burgess, Wiggins, and Rapp and Nick Scott as their 5. So that is that is that. What do you guys think? Hopefully you like it. Hopefully I did a decent job, but thank you so much for that, Sean. I appreciate it. If the roster looked like that when the season started, I'd buy my Super Bowl ticket the first week of the season. Appreciate you. Yeah, so I'll answer questions and stuff, but I'll probably be heading off soon because again, I'm not feeling that well. I just hide it somewhat with my enthusiasm, I guess. Snowden, I don't know, honestly. I've seen him going in the 5th. I've seen him going in the 4th. I don't know where he'll go. He fell to me in the mock that I had, so I took him. But I was debating whether or not to keep him on there because I wasn't sure how realistic that was. Um, it's not really COVID. It's honestly more mental, if anything, because I deal with depression and anxiety, so I think it's more that. Like, I don't know if I'm actually coming down with something. I think it's more so it's just my mental state. I just feel like super anxious and down at the same time. We should be able to get more than a fourth for Brockers. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be tough because of the contract. Don't know when you're a rookie, you're not going to play ahead of Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, especially when we spent so much draft capital on them, and then Jalen Ramsey. When exactly did Long get a fair chance to play? I'm missing something here. In the second, a 5'9" wide receiver is the best option. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't. I mean, I understand. Not everyone's gonna love it, but I think that's where they're going. I would have made a different pick, but I feel like that's ultimately where they're going, and I'm kind of talking myself into it, so I'm okay with it. Thanks, Masanori. Appreciate you. Jadeveon for 1 year, $8 million is where we ended up with. Now, let me just explain why I'm all in on Jadeveon Clowney, because it's only 1 year, $8 million. And here's the thing. Keep this in mind. This is very important. The Rams tried to acquire Jadeveon Clowney in 2018. They tried to trade for him. So they also tried to trade for Jerry Hughes. So I never rule any of that out. I always keep that in mind moving forward. They clearly had an interest in him, and now he'll be easier than ever to acquire. Last year, they didn't have the cap. This year, they could create that cap. Plus, everybody's in the same situation, so, I don't think the Rams are going to trade for Zach Ertz, but that's a good question. When has David Long beat out anyone? I don't think he has. I'm pretty soured on David Long. That is why I had them going out and getting Boye and drafting Tay Gowan. David Andrews. Are you talking about Edwards or you're talking about Andrews from the Patriots? Because Andrews is a center, I'm pretty sure. If you're talking about Edwards, and I get them mixed up all the time, so no worries. Edwards, to me, is more of a guard. That's so true, SoCal. So true. Yes, P-Train. Which isn't bad. So you're able to free up all that and then look at the roster that you come out with. I'm not saying this is 100% going to happen, but, Yeah, so I got the new Rams helmet on my videos. I got that on Amazon for $150. So, yeah. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. It was fun making this. I spent all day. Although I screwed up the graphics, but I pointed them out, so it's all good. If you point out your mistakes, it's funny. If you don't, then it's not funny. Yeah, the helmet's awesome. We're actually we're probably gonna get some more for the studio, my cousin and I. So we're probably gonna get other teams as well for our for our setup, since we cover all the teams on the AJ show. But yeah, they're so cool. I have the Rams going O-line with. I have them just getting Walker Little and Kendrick Green, so 2 offensive line. Thanks, LA Rams. Appreciate you. We missed about 2 picks. What do you mean? I've been trying, Mark. I appreciate you. Yeah, if you guys could, 2 things. Well, the Manscaped thing, but I think I've told you guys a lot to go to manscaped.com and use the promo code JKB and DTR. You get 20% off, free shipping. But also, if you could check out the WandaVision video that I did, if you're interested in that. If you're not, then don't do it. But if you're interested in WandaVision, you've already seen it. It's a spoiler warning, but I'd appreciate if everyone checked that video out. It's on my channel after this. For people that were confused as to why I did that, I'm moving this channel to, I'm taking your advice. So a lot of people on here have said, just do what you want to do. This is the Jake Ellenbogen channel, not the Jake Ellenbogen Sports channel. And so that's why I did a Rams mock off-season, and I didn't just do a regular, NFL video. I've been trying to be NFL-centric and, go away from just Rams content, but I'm never going to get rid of Rams content because Rams content is how I started everything. I mean, it's the focal point of my coverage, and, so I'm never going to move away from that entirely. If we pay him what Jake thinks we should pay him and he gets coached and played with the Rams, it'll be high reward. No, I agree with you there. Who do we have or could get as a linebacker to stop the run? We need help stopping the run. Well, I have the Rams acquiring Cameron McGrone in the draft, and McGrone is somebody, he's going to be a thumper. He's legit. I hope you guys watch McGrone tonight after we get off this, because McGrone is fun to watch, man. He's a good inside linebacker for sure. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate you. I can't believe we're doing it the way we're doing it, though. This feels so... This is not my brand. I mean, it is my brand, but it's not my brand. Like, I love interacting with you guys. I love having the camera on so you guys can see me. I don't know. It's a bummer that it's this way, but at some point or another, I think I'm going to buy another camera. Also, if anyone's interested in streaming, like gaming and whatnot, I just got a capture card. So I'm going to try doing that soon. So you just keep an eye out. I'm thinking I'll go live on days that I don't have scheduled streams. So you guys know my schedule by now. And if you don't, then no big deal. But my schedule right now for the streams, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And then Saturday is 4 p.m. Eastern time. And on my off days, off quotes needed, I'm going to try gaming. And what we can do is we can do like Ask Me Anything type of style. I don't know if you guys would be interested in that, but yeah, well, I appreciate that, P-Train. If anybody tunes in for any reason, that means you're taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to me talk or watch me. So I do appreciate that. I understand if you only come here for Rams content, or if you only come here for WandaVision, or if you only come here for MCU, or if you only come here to watch me game, which that will happen, it doesn't matter. I appreciate you all. You're all helping me. You're all building me up. You're not breaking me down. So if you, for whatever reason, don't like a video, I just urge you, don't unsubscribe, because I'm going to come up with something that you do like down the road. I had 2 unsubscribers with the WandaVision video, and then 2 downvotes, so some people were really upset. Would you pick Kyle Rudolph or Zach Ertz? If I could choose, Zach Ertz all day. I love Dylan Moses, but he wasn't available for me. I don't know. Some mocks have him going in the 3rd, but he went in the 2nd, and I couldn't get him. He went before I picked Eskridge. Zach Ertz. Definitely. Oh, I'm doing a live stream each night of the draft. Absolutely. We are 100% doing that. I hope you all are here. It's going to be on this channel. It's going to be on the AJ Show channel. It's going to be on Adam Steele. It's going to be on Alexis Craft. It's going to be on all the channels. So you can find us on every platform. It's going to be fun. We cannot wait. Yeah, Renee. So we're gonna try doing the Zoom. It's gonna be kind of hectic. Keep in mind there's so much CPU that's taken up by doing Zoom and then like streaming and using Zoom. So the quality might not be the best. I'm trying to give you guys the best quality. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to like rent a new computer or whatnot, but if only the MacBook M1X came out. Do you think Rams trade for a wide receiver? Nah, Abe, I don't see that. I know some people are wondering if they trade for Julio Jones. I don't see that, but stranger things have happened, right? Yeah, I have a few. Like when we had our Seattle Seahawks podcasts, when the Rams were playing the Seahawks, the pregame podcasts, on the Downtown Rams show, we had Lofa Tatupu come on to cover the Seahawks and be our Seahawks expert. And then we've had Jordan Schultz as well. And then for the 49ers, who do we have for the 49ers? I don't know. We've had Kittle on before, of course, but totally. Oh, Eric Crocker. He's a good guest. He really knows his stuff. Former cornerback in the NFL. And then the Cardinals, that I do not remember. Yeah, I don't remember that. Oh, that's annoying. I'm sorry to hear that, P Train. Yeah, we'll do our best to cover the draft. We've done it the last 2 years, Alexis and I, with help with Blaine Grisack, who will be on Thursday. We had Devin Jackson he's all over the place. He's in so many different websites, but he also writes for Steelers Depot. We had Mike Hernishin. We had Cole Thompson, who writes for PFN. AJ Schulte, who writes for PFN. I forget who else. We had a lot. Nick Faribaugh as well. I think he also writes for PFN. So the CPU I'm using, well, right now, so I use an eGPU, Renee. So I have a MacBook Pro with the new, what is it called? Big Sur operating system. And then I use my eGPU, which is, it's the RX 5700 graphics card, triple dissipation, and it's the Razer Chroma Core eGPU. So that's what I use at the moment. Ashawn Robinson does what Brockers does right now. He's hard to move from his spot, so he clogs running lanes. That's what Brockers does. So we already have his replacement piece in place. No, I agree. Ashawn's great. People forget Ashawn had a health condition, and by the end of the season, he was in football shape, and you saw it. You know, he was starting to make plays. Same here, Anthony. I'm ready to get that Stafford jersey. I'm assuming it's going to be number 9, but, you know. No, I agree with you. I agree with you, Renee. The Havenstein trade is just kind of, I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't trade him, but I also wouldn't be shocked if they do trade him. Yeah. So are you guys interested in that Ask Me Anything? Because I think I'm going to do that. Well, I know I'm going to do that because um, I'm getting the capture card tomorrow. You know what? I'm off tomorrow. I might stream a video game tomorrow, and I'll go on Twitch or I'll go on YouTube. I think I'll go on YouTube, right? I think that'd be fine. And I'll stream on YouTube, and then you guys can join in, and we can just we can do an Ask Me Anything. I'll change the it won't be like this because it's not. I guess it could be sponsored by Manscaped. I don't know. I might change up the HUD a little bit, but yeah, he does. You were spot on earlier when you mentioned Tavon Austin when saying that the receiver that we hope get in the draft is not like Austin. Carson Wentz can't use number 11? Sheesh. Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, I understand that. I always say, you can't scout the helmet and you can't scout the size. And so, they're like, if you use that every time, not saying you do P train, but like if you used it every time, like I won't draft a short receiver because Tavon Austin, you'd miss out on guys like Tyreek Hill, and that's the thing is, it's, Tyler Lockett, guys like that, like, or say if you were like, well, I have PTSD because, Brian Quick failed and he was the 6'3" receiver. So it's like, okay, so you're not going to draft DK Metcalf because Brian, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I know it's easier to critique the smaller receivers, but I can assure you, my 2013 Jake as a scout didn't really know what he was talking about. I look at that now. I knew more than everybody in like my grade. I knew more than my peers, but I feel like looking back now, I totally see that I did not know everything. And I felt like, the Tavon Austin move at the time was great. And I love Tavon the person. I met him. He's a great guy. But when I watch Kadarius Toney, or I watch Rondale Moore, or I watch Dwayne Eskridge, or Jalen Darden, or any of these smaller, shiftier receivers in this draft, it just reminds me that Tavon Austin wasn't as great as we thought. Tavon Austin never should have gone the first round. He was an athlete with a very, very attractive highlight package. He was probably the most dynamic player in college since Reggie Bush. So I would say Tavon Austin was hype, and I think he could have been something in the NFL, but there were some issues there. There were red flags there. First off, big red flag. When you watch somebody like Dwayne Eskridge, he's a violent route runner. When you watch Tavon Austin, he wasn't much of a route runner. He rounded off everything. He just used his size and his speed. And so, of course, his speed in college is great, but when you get to the NFL, that gets tested. And that's exactly what happened. Then, on top of it, you look at the offense, that air raid, West Virginia offense that he was in, and you look at the fact that, all of his highlight reels, it was really, Stedman Bailey was testing over the top, but Tavon Austin wasn't the streaky, the streak wide receiver that, Deshaun Jackson was at Cal. Tavon Austin wanted to get the ball and run after the catch. So, I think he did become, somewhat of a one-trick pony. And I think the problem is his football IQ wasn't as high as some of the other guys. So when I look at, Elijah Moore is another one. So when I look at those guys and, what they can do, well-rounded receivers, I'm not shocked that Tavon Austin busted. Because you watch today, and you can see why Eskridge is being considered a second-round pick. Tavon Austin should have been, around a second-round pick just off his hype. Going 8th overall, having the Rams to trade up, that was a horrible move. looking back. Hindsight is 2020, but now I see it because now I'm more of a seasoned scout. When I was, when it was 2013 and I was what, like, I don't even know how old I was, 17 years old. I didn't see it the way I see it now. That's what I'll say. It's always good to have self-scouting, though. Admit when you're wrong. Because, I mean, if you only tell people when you're right, then people are just going to assume that you never get anything wrong, which would then mean you're lying. And that's not me. I'll tell you right now. I mean, I thought Deshaun Watson should switch to running back, and I thought Patrick Mahomes was the best quarterback in the draft by a mile. Now, one of those was right. The other one was wrong. I love Deshaun Watson. Can't imagine him playing running back. I think the Robert Woods trade talks, in my opinion. So, Robert Woods is a do-it-all receiver. You can call about receivers and you can call about any player, but like the Rams, I don't think are entertaining those offers, if I'm being honest. I appreciate that. I'm on the East Coast too, so I hear you. Michael Pittman Jr. will not allow Carson Wentz to have number 11. He told Wentz straight up, you can't have it. What is that? Michael Pittman Jr. literally had number 86. He should just switch back to that. That's so weird. Yes, very true. Rams wide receivers have to block in Sean McVay's offense. It's about as necessary as blocking in Iowa's program. George Kittle once told me, if you can't block, you can't play at Iowa. And it's so true. When you look at all these Iowa guys, they're stout blockers. Oh, God, it's you again with the Jared Cook stuff. Oh, boy. So next Monday is when we will have the legal tampering period. We won't talk about how dumb that is to say, but I'll be in the studio all Monday after 4:30. I think I'll get there early and we can just follow it along. I'll go on stream or I can just chill here and game and we can talk about it. I don't know. We'll do something. But I think that's going to do it for me. We're about the hour and 13-minute mark. I really wish we had the camera feed going. I really do miss you guys. But next time we will. So Wednesday, thank you so much, Dabney. I appreciate that. Wednesday, it looks as though, I mean, it's up in the air now because something came up. But we're trying to have Steffi Smalls back on the show. She is actually going to be every Wednesday, if you guys didn't know that. So she'll be our guest every Wednesday. Blaine Grisak is going to be our guest on Thursday. And then Saturday, I don't have anything lined up. So, we'll probably just have a regular Saturday. But does anyone have any other questions before I head on out of here? I know, right, Renee? I always found that funny. It also just sounds stupid. My dad always makes fun of the name legal tampering. I can't even, he makes fun of me because I'll be like, oh, Dad, the legal tampering period's next Monday. He's like, you do realize how, stupid that sounds, right? Oh, good question, Chris. What game are you going to play on stream? I have a bunch of games. So, I mean, I could play Madden. I could play Star Wars Battlefront. I'm not very good at, I'm not a competitive gamer, so, I just chill. But, that'll allow me to be able to answer questions and stuff. And we'll get a different, like I said, I'm going to get a different HUD up and, we'll have some fun. But, I would say that. What else? Call of Duty. Hopefully shooters don't bother anybody in here. I have Cold War. I'm going to stream on both, but, I'm going to definitely focus on YouTube. So yeah, Battlefront 2 is a lot of fun. I'm not very good at it though, but I enjoy playing it. Thanks, Masanori. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other games. I mean, I could play a story game, but like I don't know. I just feel like I want to be more immersed in a story. And here's the thing, guys. Whether you believe me or not, I haven't played a video game in 2 months. I have the PS5 and I never play because I've been so busy making videos and watching film and just, doing my day job and all of that. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you what I'm going to want to play. I mean, Watch Dogs 2, I also have. I have some other games as well. You guys hit me up. Let me know what you'd like to see me play, and I'll see if I have it. I am waiting for that Harry Potter game to come out, and I'm waiting for the next Elder Scrolls to come out. No idea when that will be. I'm waiting on a few games to come out, but yeah. Plus, I'm so getting that jersey, by the way. As a Snowden supporter, I'm so getting that Snowden jersey. Oh yeah, PS5 is awesome. Would you let views join game? What do you mean, like play with me? Yeah, I mean, if I'm just playing Call of Duty, you're more than welcome to join me. I won't like hide my. I don't know why people do that, but I guess it's just super big streamers or whatever. But I won't hide my screen name or anything like that. First round? What's the first round? Are you talking about the Rams? I think they go way past the first round of the playoffs. So hard to do. I've done them before. So I have a Twitch, and I used to. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a good question, Pete. I don't think that they're going to trade back in the first round, but that's a good question. Dabney, you're absolutely right. Spider-Man Miles Morales I actually beat twice, and it's just a great game. The ray tracing is insane, and I play on high fidelity mode. I'm actually wondering how this stream is going to work because I do play on a 49-inch monitor, like widescreen, but the problem is that it's not optimized for 1440p on PS5. So I actually have to cut my screen in half. So I'm wondering if that will have any effect. It probably won't, but maybe it does. I don't know. What are stream snipers? Because, I mean, if I have to block my name, I have to block my name, but I don't think I have to block my name. Good question. Yeah, I definitely want Clowny, Henry. Oh, boy. That was a fun stream. We got over 1,000 playbacks. 82 concurrent viewers. Went over, I think, 100. Oh, Chris, well, thank you for letting me know. I might stream games as early as tomorrow. This channel is going to be a little bit of everything because you're basically just walking into the mind of Jake Ellenbogen. So join at your own peril, I guess. But I'm also going to be making an MCU ranking video where I rank all the movies. I already did it on Twitter. If you don't want it spoiled, then don't go on Twitter and look. But I'm also going to make some Falcon Winter Soldier videos as well. like they join and track you down to kill you every single match. It's more of a problem when streamers start getting bigger. Yeah. Who knows how big I'll get though, to be honest with you. Like I'm not super talented as a video game player. Like my KD in Call of Duty right now is like 1.2. Yeah, I like playing on this the smaller screen. For this, I have the Samsung 49-inch wide. I have a really nice setup here, but the office is like. But honestly, guys, I mean, I know I wasn't streaming video, but there wasn't like any lag. I mean, there was some weird thing at the beginning, but there wasn't really any lag, right? I'm streaming on ultra low latency, so I can interact with comments quicker. Play Ark or 2K. I don't have 2K, and I think Ark is the dinosaur game, if I'm not mistaken. I could play Rocket League. I don't know. It'd be interesting. I mean, if I had my capture card right now, I'd probably boot it up. But I'm waiting for it to come in. The console will output at 4K and give you super sampled image at the 1440p monitor. Well, so I can actually, so Dabney, I can use the 49-inch monitor, but the problem is that it like stretches out the picture. Rocket League is like the perfect thing. I mean, I'm horrible at it. I used to be great, and then I stopped playing. You're more than welcome to join me on Rocket League or COD. You can add me. That's my PSN name. You can feel free to add me. Now, here's the thing, though. Keep this in mind. I get a lot of ads, and people are changing their names constantly, so don't be offended if I don't know who you are. That's all I'm going to say. Like, that's the one thing. If you play with me, don't be offended if I don't know who you are, because everybody is changing their name. I can't keep up with it. People who are on Twitter have different names on console, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited to get that started. Excited for the future of this channel. I can't stress that enough. We're about to get super big, I think, as far as like views and everything, because free agency is coming up. So I'm really excited for that. Yeah, of course you are. So ever plan on going on Discord to talk to your subscribers again, or is it just for the exclusive subs now? I want to. It's kind of hard because I've had shows planned out. So like I had this planned out to be the mock off season. So having, someone come on for like an interview or something would have kind of been out of left field, if that makes sense. Has to make sense for me. So it's not just for the members. There is a members only stream. There's 2 of them this month, but it's not just members though. But you're welcome to sign up if you'd like. What was it? I was gonna send the link for anybody that wanted to join. I don't know what's happening right now. Yeah, I mean everybody calls in and asks for Woods. They always are trying to get Woods from the Rams. Happens a lot. I'm trying to find. Schedule's the same until further notice. So it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So here is the link. If anyone would like to join, be a member. It's $4.99 a month, and you get access to the badges, which you can see Masanori has one. So you get badges, you get mod capabilities, and of course you're gonna have the members only live stream that we do monthly. Thanks, Renee. Appreciate you, my man. You take care of yourself. I did. I saw the Bengals, 49ers, and Browns jersey leaks, and I gotta say, the Bengals looked weird. The 49ers looked all right, and the Browns looked all right. But the Bengals looked like it was like a Walmart jersey. Exactly, Masanori. That's why we're looking at Eskridge, right? All right. Well, I can't believe we made it this far. Proud of all of us. Big round of applause. But I'm gonna head off, and I'm gonna take tomorrow off, and just reconvene on Wednesday, and we'll go from there. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Look, it's Luke. Yeah, no, I hear you. All right, guys. I love y'all. If you guys are interested, I'm going to try and stream gameplay tomorrow, and then see how well we do with that. It's a trial run. If I don't enjoy it, if it sucks, if there's if there's nothing there that I like, well, we'll move on. But I think I'm gonna enjoy streaming video games as well. I like the Ask Me Anything dynamic because then I'm interacting with you guys while I'm gaming. So I think that's what we'll do. But you guys take care, and I'll be back Wednesday, or if everything goes according to plan with the streaming, I'll be on tomorrow. So you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your night. I'll talk to you later.